I'm wearing yellow, Karthik is wearing pink, but London is red.
Is red.
Tottenham Hotspur 0, Arsenal 2. Simple win. I mean, I wasn't even nervous going into this match. That is how confident I felt about this fixture. For me, the more nervous thing was about like, will Arsenal have the composure? Because they have been weak towards the end of games, and Spurs have been strong this season towards the end of games. Which was my only sort of area of concern. But outside that, I always knew Arsenal were the better team going into the game. I knew they would dominate the game. I knew they would create great chances. It was only a matter of composure. In the end, we had it. Spurs did not. Very specifically, Richarlison and that one Tottenham fan. But yeah, what was your takeaway from this game?
Takeaways, Spurs actually tried to play some football in the second half when they did create chances instead of just being the single sole counter-attacking side in the Premier League. But when you try to play football against a side that's been playing football for a long while, this is the result that you get. And I'm very happy with the Arsenal performance. Solid at the back, very clinical in attack, made the most of all the chances that we got.
Uh,
Maybe we should have been two more goals up, but again, Nketiah was a menace to Loris tonight, and I am happy with that. I'm really happy with that performance.
let's talk quickly about Spurs, right? Because I think now they sit sixth in the table, I believe, maybe fifth. I think they sit fifth in the table, but they have a game extra in hand, and they are, I think, 3 points away from
Third,
Manchester United at
they
35.
are 33. Spurs are 33 right now.
33. Okay, well, they are definitely behind United, plus they've played more games in hand as well. So it's definitely a hard situation for them to come back from. Their form has been bad. This is, I don't even know, this is like the 10th game in the season where they have led in a match, before having to try to make a comeback eventually as well. So there just seems to be like a very basic issue with Spurs to where they almost have to go down in a game. That is the baseline for them to start playing football, it seems like. And I don't know how Conte gets them out of that funk. I mean, in the end, he threw everybody on the pitch. Brian Hill was on the pitch. He got Richarlison on. He got Perisic on, and he did not take a single attacking player off in that exchange either. To the point where it just seemed like he was just like, okay, just let me just throw everything at this and see. Which makes me think again, like tactically, is there anything going on there? What actually are Spurs tactics? Um, Heung-min Song not having the best season. I think he's only scored 4 goals, 3 of which came in one single game. And Harry Kane did not have the greatest game. Was still a threat today, but not in the way that Harry Kane usually is a threat. Their best player still seems to be Kulusevski. Still created a lot. He was the only player that actually made me nervous. So at this point, I really don't know what to think about Spurs. Do you think they're even going to finish in like a European spot? They feel like they're on a steady downturn right now.
I think they might somehow get into Europa. They might stay around in Europa because the other results, the other teams are also getting varied results. It's not as if everyone is getting consistent results. So you have a you can maybe have a Brighton in the mix if they continue playing the way they are. You have Newcastle,
I mean,
you have
Fulham
Man
now.
City, you have Liverpool, you have Fulham. Liverpool, I'm not sure. Chelsea, I'm not sure what's happening with these two clubs. But again, this is just halfway through the season. We are only, what, 19 or 18 games in. We have an entire half to play. And it might be too early to call the shots on who's going to be where in the table, although these are significant signs or indicators towards where they will eventually end up. I do think Spurs might just nitpick a spot in the Europa League, if not the fourth place in the Champions League, which looks extremely difficult at this point.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. Yes, Champions League is definitely out of of the realm of possibility for me now, given how they've been doing. But yeah, let's get back to that Arsenal performance, right? Absolutely incredible display. Lloris with a howler for that first goal, but Saka, working that weaker foot, just generating so much power that it almost overwhelmed Hugo Lloris in goal. And then Odegaard with an absolutely beautiful goal. Partey probably should have scored from his
That
incredible.
that could have been scenes that could
Yeah,
have probably
I was
broken
just
the
I
internet.
was just talking to my friend. It's like Partey always gets one good shot every game, and he should have scored from that shot that he had that game. And Nketiah, man, I think he's really taking on the Jesus mantle, where he's doing so much of what Jesus does, including not finish that final shot. Uh, he
The
should have.
second big chance he got, the second big chance, I thought his first touch was poor in the sense that the ball went away a little more than he would have liked, and then he just took a tame shot. He could have chipped the keeper, but maybe that's me saying it since I'm watching it on TV and I'm not there on
I
the
mean,
pitch.
I feel like the first chance was probably the easiest one, right? The one where Martinelli kind of flicked it back, and then the
Yeah,
Spurs defense
oh
was
yes,
completely lost.
oh yes.
If he has the composure to hit that ball into the roof of the net, there is no way Lloris can stop that. But he tried to go low and hard, which again made it easier for a keeper of Hugo's experience to actually get down and save that one. So yeah, some things to work on there definitely. The one thing I really want to talk about, my biggest worry is Saka played the whole 96 minutes again. He looked absolutely knackered in towards that, the 85th minute mark. I think now that Mudryk is gone, Chelsea, I don't even want to talk about that issue over there. We really need to find a backup for him, man. Like when he was bringing Vieira on, I was really hoping that he would take Saka off. We have nobody to take that spot, and I just fear that he's going to be run into the ground come the end of the season. We really need him to perform. We really need
Add
him to be in,
add to
in
the
shape.
fact, yeah, add to the fact that players are still trying to target Saka's legs because that's the only way they can stop him. I mean, we saw that today from the Spurs side. Anyone or everyone was just trying to pull him down, which I felt like was quite amateurish because you have a talented side. It's not as if Spurs have a side that lacks talent, lacks depth, is just a Burnley under Sean Dyche type team. No, they are not. But the underhand tactics by Spurs really they left a sour taste in my mouth. And I don't even want to talk about how the game ended or
I,
the incident with Ramsdale.
I feel like the Saka treatment has just become like an across the board thing. There is not it's not a Spurs thing. It's every team is like that is how the league as a whole has decided this is how we deal with Saka. We just bring him down. I think Rio Ferdinand said in an interview recently, like in his prime, if he were to face a wide attacker, he would rather face Riyad Mahrez over Saka, which is as good of a compliment as you can get, right? But yeah, those post-match antics. I mean, I would love to see what the FA does on this. There is no way that both Richarlison and Spurs as a fan base or that very specific fan don't. I mean, the fan might even be in danger of having like an actual police investigation against him for breaching the field and trying to physically harm a player, right? It's incredible how that was allowed to happen. But again, looking at the positive, kudos to Mikel Arteta for pulling his players back, getting them away from the fray, and bring them back to the
Especially
away end where the Arsenal supporters were there in full
especially
force.
pulling Granit Xhaka back. There is that clip where Arteta is walking across and he sees Xhaka running. Mikel
It's like,
Arteta
nope.
turns around, does a 180 in that instance, and like grabs Xhaka by his neck. He's pulled him back. That was a certain red card for Granit Xhaka had he continued like 10 steps ahead because we all knew what was going to happen.
And again, who would blame him, right? We saw the video footage after of how Ramsdale was treated. Like, who would blame him for that reaction? But again, kudos to Arteta for focusing on what needed to be focused on. Bringing the team together and bringing them to the away fans and really celebrating a very very important win. What I feel like at this point, a lot of players, like a lot of my friends, were also saying like this is where Arsenal win the league. I'm like, not yet. Like there's still a lot more of the season to go. But if we get that United result, man, if we win against Manchester United, that really, really sets us up for
You know for a fact, like most of my friends know for a fact, that is the result I always care about. Home and away. We were robbed away, and the FA, as usual, after 4.5 million years, came out saying the goal should have stood. So I am expecting another 11 versus 16 clash. but hopefully this time we are better prepared.
Yes, we are going to talk about Manchester United next. So catch us there and let us know what you think about the season going on so far. Can Tottenham actually squeeze into that top four position? And are Arsenal now clear favourites for the title, or is it again still too early to call it? As always, please like, share, subscribe, and we will see you guys next time. Have a great day.